Today we're looking at Psalm 127. In my Bible and in quite a lot of Bibles, I imagine it's headed. These headings are put in by the translators, not by the original author. It's headed God's Blessings in the Home. The introductory note that is the original in the Hebrew says a song of ascents of Solomon. Now, a song of ascents of Solomon, I get, of Solomon, possibly in the style of Solomon, one of the songs used in the pilgrimages when the people went up to Jerusalem for the great festivals each year on pilgrimage to celebrate and to pray in Jerusalem. God's blessings in the home is one interpretation. I don't think it's the best one. Let me read this short Psalm 127. Unless the Lord builds the house, those who build it labor in vain. Unless the Lord guards the city, the guards keep watch in vain. It is in vain that you rise up early and go late to rest, eating the bread of anxious toil, for he gives sleep to his beloved. Sons are indeed a heritage from the Lord, and the fruit of the womb a reward. Like arrows in the hand of a warrior are the sons of one's youth. Happy is the man who has his quiver full of them. He shall not be put to shame when he speaks with his enemies in the gate. Two very different halves to that psalm. Neither is really about the home. One is about things that we do that could be in vain, things we do that might be toilsome and burdensome and wear us out, but might not have lasting reward or achievement. And then what does have lasting reward and achievement? Those are the two different halves of the psalm, but we need to understand them. Unless the Lord builds the house, those who build it labor in vain. Unless the Lord guards the city, the guard keeps watch in vain. This isn't about your home being safe or how you've created a home or even built a house. It's the song of ascents. They're on the way up to Jerusalem to worship at the temple. The house here is the Lord's house. It's the temple. And Solomon, of course, is the great builder, the king under whom the Lord's house, the temple, was built in Jerusalem. The huge labor of years, of thousands of people, of immense quantities of wood and stone and gold and all sorts. And that great achievement, one of the greatest achievements of the world in his day and before or since, was the building of that temple in Jerusalem. Solomon had built it, the triumphant king. But he says, unless the Lord builds it, the laborers are in vain. And then he's got this great city. Jerusalem is now the capital that's inherited from his father David. But it's the city of David, it's the Lord's city, it's Mount Zion, it's the place where the Jews and the Gentiles will go up to worship and to praise. But unless the Lord guards the city, the guards keep watch in vain. Human achievement of building or of maintaining a city, a civilization, a community, human achievement, unless the Lord is in the project, is worth nothing. That's what Solomon says, the great builder king who built a temple and an empire. And he's saying, unless the Lord is the builder, then what we're doing is futile. Such an important truth to get hold of. It's in vain that you rise up early and go late to rest, eating the bread of anxious toil. He gives sleep to his beloved. He's not saying here, don't work hard. He's saying, however hard you work, if the Lord isn't in it, if you're not ultimately depending on him and letting him give you rest and sleep, if you think by your own labors alone you can build anything in this life, you've got another think coming. It's all in vain. Vanity of vanities, says the preacher, all is vanity, perhaps even the same author as this psalm. Great human achievements are great human achievements, but they'll fall down, fall apart one day. And unless the Lord's in them, they're meaningless. Whatever we build in our lives, unless the Lord's in it, it's meaningless. What might have value, real value in our lives? Well, he says, sons, the fruit of the womb is what might have value in your life. That's what might give you purpose. Now, please get this right. He's not saying those who don't have children have no purpose or leave nothing behind them. The New Testament is very clear in a number of places to say that children are part of the gift of the church. All those within a church share the care of the children of the church. I think that's true of a community, a village or a town, a city as well. When we pay our taxes so that children can have good health care and be well educated, that's part of looking after our children, preparing the next generation. Of course, children are a heritage from the Lord to be cared for in the Lord's name. But the real heritage, what isn't in vain, is preparing the next generation, leaving behind a generation well taught about the Lord, well prepared to live life for the Lord in this world. If the Lord is in it, if the Lord's in what we're doing in building the next generation, possibly as individuals, as society, as church community, if the Lord is in the building of the next generation, that's what really counts. If the Lord is in building a church building, if the Lord is in guarding a city or a town or a country, good. If not, waste of time. Vanity, vanity. We stress and we stress to get things right in life, and we don't always invite the Lord in and make sure he's part of it and an essential part of it, because he gives purpose and meaning and rest and sleep to his beloved. Amen.